wabarakatuh. In this opportunity, I'd like to present my research entitled Integrating Online Reading Activity in a Critical Reading Course, a course evaluation. But before I explain more about my research, let me introduce myself. My name is Riku Supaningsi from Muhammadiyah University, Professor Dr. Hamka, Jakarta. Well, first, let me tell you the reason why I choose this title for my research. At the present day, most people use digital source to their needs everywhere and every day, including students. They enjoy reading digital texts because they were inspiring, informative, and in line with the way they are reading. Now, online reading for students offers advantages in improving their understanding. That the availability of ebooks to promote better reading habits and improve motivation. And there is plenty of research related to online reading. However, assessing the effectiveness of online reading activity in the course and the contributing factors to the students' reading activity is rarely conducted in Indonesia. Therefore, the purpose of the study was aimed to evaluate a critical reading course in a private university in Jakarta, where an online reading activity was integrated into course activity. Now, let's move to the research methodology that I use. Okay. Talking about research design, as I stated before, that the main aim of this study is to evaluate a critical reading course where an online reading activity was integrated into the course activity. Well, that's why a mixed methods design employed to answer the research question. And the qualitative method with survey design and qualitative research with an interview were employed to explore students' perspective about online reading activity and the contributing factors of such a behavior. Now, what about how I collected data? The site under study was a private university in Jakarta, and the participants for the study consisted of English Education Department students, 4 males and 52 females, enrolled in critical reading course. There are 2 critical reading class consisted of 26 for each class. Now, talking about the instrument, to obtain the quantitative data regarding students' perception of the effectiveness of online reading, and 20 items questionnaire was adapted from Sheng in Taiwan. Some modifications were made to address the research question and for more clarity and precision. An interview with students was conducted to collect the qualitative data for the study, and a total of 12 students participated in the interview. Now, about data analysis. The quantitative data collected from the questionnaire then will be analyzed into 2 different stages. First, the data are screened in Microsoft Excel to improve the quality of the data collected. And the second, the raw data are then tabulated and converted into logic through a RAS analysis using WinStep software. In addition to the quantitative data analysis, qualitative data analysis was performed using a thematic analysis. Now, about the finding, there are 4 points that I can highlight for the findings of my research. First finding is the current study showed that the online reading course through a computer mediated offers several benefits for the students, including the completeness of its feature. For example, the use of scroll bars, mouse, and hyperlinks. It is also interesting but not surprising that the supportive feature of online reading tool help the students to explore their reading. What should be noticed in is that students felt convenient to read on a computer screen during the reading course than on their smartphone reading application. However, perception toward the utilizing online reading course was still under expectation. Findings revealed that students preferred conventional reading using paper than online, particularly when attending reading tests. Students found paper-based reading easier to work on the test compared to online reading tests. Second is based on the interview question, students' technological competence in operating online reading tool feature such as scrollbar, cursor, and hyperlinks made them easier to search for information in digital text, especially when there is a very long article. Next, all participants' motivation and interest are positive. It may indicating that they were enjoy reading online because they found many advantages by reading online. The last finding that I can tell, although students were observed to be benefited from attending online reading programs, many reported that they encounter one critical challenge during the online reading activity. Many students report to have health issues, particularly eye irritation caused by the screen light or make a note on computer screens. Well, before I end my presentation, let me give you a conclusion of my presentation. Based on the findings and discussion, I can conclude that there was no difference between critical reading course based on paper-based reading and online reading. They found online reading could assist them to reach the flexibility of reading and searching articles, particularly for those who were already familiar with electronic reading devices. They found it helpful to be able to read better on a computer screen. However, participants tend to have a negative perception of the effectiveness of using online reading tests. They found easier to do paper-based reading tests than online-based reading tests. Moreover, small screen size and light from the screen appear to issue students' eye irritation. Well, that's the end of my presentation.